hard to deal with these tragedies, especially when they involve children. You know, kids might hear about certain incidents at school, or sometimes they might even know the people involved, which means some parents are going to have those tough conversations about it. Psychology expert Blanca Cobb joins us now with the ways to navigate that conversation. First off, how do you break bad news to your kids, Blanca?
Before you break bad news to your kids, you really need to think about what is it that you want for them to know, to understand. Also, what is their developmental level? What can they handle? The reason these questions are important to know ahead of time because it makes the conversation easier. You can say something like, there's a sad situation that happened that I want to tell you about, and it involves your friend. And when you talk about death, you have to be very specific what that means, because depending on the developmental level of children, they may think that death is temporary, like you sleep and you wake up. So when you talk about death, you really have to hone in on the permanence of it, that there's no coming back for it. The body just doesn't work anymore. No eating, no breathing, no waking up.
Once you get the concept through to your children, how do you monitor them for grief?
That's a very good question. And realize this, children like adults are going to grieve completely differently. Some children may not know how to feel, so they may not have an immediate reaction. Others will be angry, confused, sad. So you want to know what their baseline is, meaning if they're typically very talkative, but then they're very quiet into themselves, and you know that something isn't quite right with them. That's a great time just to touch base and say, hey, honey, this is what I'm noticing. What's going on for you? Help me understand. Let's talk about this. You want them to know that you're a safe place, particularly emotionally, where they can turn to. And also realize this, it's okay for you as mom or dad to be in touch with your own emotions and show your own grief, because you're modeling to your children how to grieve, how to show love, be compassionate, and to have strength during difficult times in our lives.
How long can that grieving in our kids go on before you should really start to get worried and think about maybe bringing in a professional?
Another fabulous question. It really depends on your child, because some children will have like a low level of grief for a couple of months, and it can be fine because they're still moving on with daily activities and their daily routine. Some other children, it may just be a couple of weeks. It could be a week where they just can't handle it, meaning their whole world is upside down. They're questioning everything. Why did this happen? It's unfair. How do I know I'm safe? Some children will be like, they will beg their parents and say, Mom, Dad, you can never die. Why? Because this brings up so many emotions of uncertainty. And this is what's so hard, because life is uncertain. And as parents, we have to navigate those tough waters and say, as much as we love you and we're going to try to protect you, we can't promise that nothing bad is going to happen. So again, just to summarize your question, or the answer to your question is, just pay attention and see where those extreme peaks and spikes are for your child. And with your help, and other adults in their life who love them, if they can't find that semblance of normalcy, then that is the time to bring in a professional. Just to touch base and say, this is what I'm noticing. What do you think? What else can we do at home to help my child or children?
Well, this whole thing just breaks your heart, and we're so glad to have you here, Blanca, to help work through all of this. You can continue the conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert.